So I'm a contractor in the handyman drywall world, and I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to take all that 15 years of knowledge, because I know what's happening. White collar jobs are losing. They're losing the position in life. Everybody's gonna start going to construction because it's the only thing that AI really can't really touch as of yet. So I understand there's gonna be a big boom of a lot of people joining the contractor side of the world, and I'm trying
Correct.
to just a little bit ahead.
You want me to answer how you would take advantage of this if I was you?
Yes.
Okay. Let me share my screen. I'll show you because that's a great question. I believe that the reason why we want to work with guys like you who are already operating is because the moat is actually in you understanding your industry versus AI is not the edge, right? The edge is in you understanding the pain. So the way that you'll probably do it is first you want to start with like, okay, what are all the problems that you deal with on your day to day? For us,
Okay.
we would work with you in understanding. Of course, this is when TrackCook AI 3.0 launches, because this is really us solving it for you, delivering to clients versus you launching their business. Like for you launching this offer where you help them scale, that we can already do with TrackCook AI 2.0. But with 3.0, when it releases, this is what we would do. First, show us all the main bottlenecks they're dealing with. Their biggest bottleneck is probably they lose out on appointments, on
Okay.
jobs, because
Yes.
speed to lead is cooked. Okay, perfect. The next problem is probably that a lot of you guys get stuck in doing the work. So, like, even if I can give you $1 million worth of work this month, what are you going to do? Are you going to split yourself into 50, 100 people? No. So, that's also a bottleneck. Having actual labor, people doing the job. That's bottleneck. I would say that these are probably the top few bottlenecks. Maybe the next one is maybe they don't have qualified leads. Okay, now once we've identified what these problems are, then we want to figure out what is the solution for them. And the solution comes in two ways. There is the how, which is like the skill on how to solve it or the skill on how to do the work. But then it also comes in second, which is the actual what? The tool. To solve appointment setting, you need an AI voice agent, you need a tool, you need a number, you need A2P approval, you need all these things. For us in 3.0, we'll literally have an AI voice agent. It's just that I didn't necessarily want to overwhelm everyone here with all the features of Cook. But for us, we're going to be moving away from all the assistables, the VAPI, the retail of the world. And on Track Cook, when you get on board a client on your workspace, you can literally say, hey, create a voice agent for this workspace. And it automatically creates a voice agent for that business, gets all the context from the workspace, and starts managing all their conversions, their bookings, right? But what we would need help from you is, hey, what is the scale? What is the best process around booking calls and getting them to show up and getting them to convert? That is where we work with you in productizing the scale so that AI agents can not only have access to tools, but also have access to the skill. And then we're
Wow.
going to do it for what? Every single bottleneck. A bottleneck like labor. Well, what is the scale on how people do talent acquisition in the world of contractors? Who is the best? Maybe we can go find a private equity firm that rolls up a lot of these contractor businesses. And this, by the way, is this is the whole point of why I do these, is because we don't in our business, we don't just like do marketing for business. We don't do things, we don't do sales. We try to think more around how to get leverage in business models, because I've realized in my career, I've never made money because I'm good at doing one single thing. If you want to make like a lifetime worth of 100 lifetimes worth of revenue in a single lifetime, you have to be so good at so many things that most people are can never be good at. And you have to literally be unique. How do you get uniqueness? You have to be orthogonal from what everybody else is doing. You have to do things that not everybody can do. And this is why when we start talking about the idea of agent arbitrage and owning every single playbook in a business and then renting these agents, it's like you have to do sophisticated, hard things. You cannot just settle for just being a marketing or a contractor. No, it's like look around you. The average person in your industry, yes, they make money, but they don't necessarily make infinite amounts of money. Okay. So essentially what we want to understand is what is the scale around building a team of contractors or guys, technicians, people actually doing the work. And then how do we then what tools do they use to hire them, train them, vet them? We want to add that too. Leads, same thing. Right now we have the ads agent, we have the content agent, we have the content creation agents. You can then automate your best way to create the best ads that attract the most qualified leads that are ready to sign up. Okay. And then we turn it into a workflow. So now every single person in your industry, you literally own every single workflow that solves all their scaling problems. Then you're going to have two options. Either You can rent it out to them. Actually, it's not really rent it out. You're going to sell them outcomes. You're going to say, hey, I'm going to come in and solve your appointment setting problems, speed to lead. If you're lacking talent, I'm going to go solve it for you. I'm going to bring you the guys. I'm going to train them, and I'm going to get you also leads. That would be like, of course, you're probably not going to come in with all these three things at the same time, but you're going to want to solve them all of them at once. And for each, maybe you charge a premium. What most people are doing is they're selling, like if I sold you Cook just as is, what would it be worth? I don't know. That's where a lot of people who sell like the CRM you just said as an example,
Mhm.
it could be worth 10,000. It could also be worth nothing based on the utility and how much the contractor uses it. It's not actually based on the value of the CRM. It's is a customer using it.
Yes, you're right. Yes, you're
So
right.
so that's why for us, we want you to use it on their behalf. Well, you're not using it. You actually have agents using it on their behalf. So you sell them outcomes, you sell them services. You do not sell the tool. If you do, good luck making any money. Okay? That's
Oh,
right. Does that make sense? Like how much for you would you pay a marketing agency to create content and get you qualified leads? That could be worth thousands of dollars a month.
yes, yes, of course, yes.
Exactly. So, but if I sold you an AI platform that you use to create the ads and then the leads, how much is that worth? Maybe $100, $200 a month. So for us, we actually still sell outcomes to these businesses. We don't sell them software. And the last piece, but not least, is maybe start acquiring your clients' businesses.
Oh,
And the reason why you probably would want to be interested in this is because once you've served, let's say, 500 contractors, you'll understand them so deep that you can essentially manage your entire business on the platform. So why don't you go own a piece of them and just place a bunch of technicians to do the work, but then you leverage your operating system to manage all the backend, to manage the bookings, to manage the leads, to manage the customers, to manage the invoicing, to manage. And then you just have humans still doing the job, but eventually you're going to have robots. And then once you have an operating system, and then let's say contractor operating system, and then you have robots that can do all the contracting work, now you've completely closed the loop. So
man,
this
it's
is where
just
the future is going.
holy smokes. Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, for us, that's kind of like the whole point. That's why we want to help people build businesses on top of the infrastructure because the goal is not for us to give someone a cook and be, oh, go get leads. Yeah, that could be valuable, but that's not really the real play. The real play is to own the future of labor. Humans are not going to be the people who work and create value in the economy. It's going to be either an AI, a digital labor, or a robot. And the future is who owns the digital labor? Who owns the agents that advertise? Who owns the agents that book appointments? Right? Whoever owns them owns the future.
That's it. That's it.
That is, and that's if I can summarize what TrackCook AI and what our mission is, our job is to find partners who actually want to work because this is not going to be easy. This is not like I'm sure you guys have probably been on a lot of workshops that tell you guys that oh, the opportunity is to go sell some this and this and that. Oh, you can become a billionaire from just selling an AI voice agent. Yeah, right. Good luck on that. Good luck on that. Right. The goal is to own digital labor. The goal eventually is going to be a robot. For now, we're starting with intelligence online. And that's why TriCook AI is evolving to where it is now, because we're slowly now, okay, now we can actually build agents. Now we can automate work. And we want to be in every vertical. I don't want to just do it for our business. I would like to be a partner in your organization, support you in building the infrastructure, the plumbing to make it work and we want to be co-owners in those organizations and that's really hopefully how we all touch a building.
When I first started listening to these cohorts, I had a hard time trying to think outside the box, but I just kept watching your Facebook stuff, your Twitter, and I kept, thinking outside the box. And now it really hits a pinpoint where you're like it's true because with agentic AI, things are moving so
Mhm.
fast where it's like I have a bunch of friends who are trying to sell me these voice agents AI and they're so garbage. They don't work. They have to rely on 11 labs. The voice is not real, and it's like you can't scale any of that. And then when you said that now you guys are trying to get away from go high level, that's when everything clicked. I'm like, these guys are moving way too fast. Thank you for listening to me, and definitely I am. I'm very interested to move forward.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, you can book a slot. I don't know if we have slots, but